JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 16th of February 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So you have to feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the German index DAX. To be honest, not much is happening. Just a quick update on what's going on here. So basically, the index continues to trade flat for the second day in a row, and to be honest, at the moment it seems like this could stay like this unless we see some sort of big fluctuations in the equity world, but at the moment, yep, it is how it is, guys. I mean, I'm still keeping an eye on that all-time high near the 14,169 zone here in order to consider higher levels. A break of that area is required, and for the downside, well, ideally we would like to see maybe a drop below this hurdle right here, the 13,917 zone, marked near the lows of the 11th and the 12th of February. And at the same time, we could see the price falling below the 21-day EMA, which could be seen as a bit of a bearish indication. But of course, this move lower then could still be seen as a temporary correction, because don't forget, we're still overall trading above some of these upside lines. But for now, we're closer to the all-time high, and let's see and wait if we can get a nice pop above it. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and of course the market is not opened yet, but of course after yesterday's break, it's going to be quite an interesting trading session, because if you remember, on Friday here we've closed near the 13,807 zone, and if we take a look at the cash index right now or in the futures market, we'll see that the price is kind of balancing slightly above it. So basically, we'll have a nice little opening gap here to the upside, and we'll see a new all-time high. So yeah, prepare for that, guys. But there is a bit of weakness kicking in at the moment, but again, let's see if that weakness can roll over into the whole or should I say stay throughout the whole session. But again, for now, it is how it is, guys. I mean, we are going to be opening at all-time high, so let's see how this is going to play out today. If you want to look at some lower areas, well, it's a little bit more on the safe side. Probably wait for at least a drop below the 13,700 territory, somewhere around here, because recently it did act as a good area of resistance, then support. So a nice good drop below the 13,700 could open the door towards lower areas. So keep that in mind. Jumping into another index, DXY. So DXY here is trading, well, actually bang on this downside line. But as I've mentioned to you guys this morning, that probably I will get rid of this downside line, because it's just in the way. The main thing that I'm going to focus right now here on will be on some of these key levels. So for the downside, for example, what I'm looking at here is this area, this 90.25 zone, which of course got broken today already, but as you can see, the bulls kind of pushed the pushed the the index back above it. So in a way, this just proves how important this level is, this 90.25. And if we get a nice good drop below this area again, then yes, we will go for lower areas. But at the moment, guys, at the moment it is a bit of a difficult one here. So yep, I'm just waiting here for a clear indication and a clear breakthrough one of our levels, and or should say the daily candle remaining either above or below certain levels before we could consider the next short-term directional move. So yep, for the upside, as I mentioned before, this 91.24 zone, that's what I'm looking at here in order to consider some higher levels. Gold. Gold is beautiful, moving beautifully to the downside. I mean, everything's working according to the plan, because the plan was that, and this is what I've mentioned in the beginning of this week and then last week as well, that if we get a slide below the 1819 zone, and if we see the commodity kind of staying below this area, then, well, I mean, lower levels could be met. So, and then what I was saying as well, if you're a little bit more on the careful side, then you could keep an eye on the low of last week near the 1810 zone. And as you can see, we got that level got broken today. So now my next target is this 1785 zone, and then I'll take it from there. So that's my target for now, especially if the price of gold remains below this 1810 zone. If it stays below it, then yes, like I said, my next target is this 1785. Jumping into Brent oil very quickly, so seeing a bit of a corrective move lower. So today, after failing to reach the yesterday's high, which was around the 63.74 zone, we can see that the commodity now is drifting lower. Now, if you want to be a little bit more on the safe side, what you could do here is keep your eyes on this little hurdle right here. The high of Friday, or in other words, the high of last week, and that area is around the 62.81 territory. So a nice good drop below that area could in a way strengthen the downside scenario here, and by downside scenario I mean a temporary correction, because at the moment, like I said, we are still kind of trading above some of these upside lines, so any move lower is considered to be as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. But if we take it from the very short-term perspective, and we draw this line here from the low of the 1st of February, we'll see that yes, clearly if we drop below the 62.81 zone, then yes, we'll go for a larger correction to the downside. But if this upside line gets broken, then yes, further declines could be possible in the near term, of course, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, I would need to see a push above this 63.74 territory in order to, like I said, yep, go for some higher levels, because this way the commodity would confirm a forthcoming higher high and more buyers could join in. Now jumping into Bitcoin. So so let me freshen up this chart. I mean, I looked at this one previously, but a lot of levels kind of are invalid now, so let's have a fresh look at Bitcoin. So first of all, we can see that it's still trading above some of its upside lines here. So one of which is this one drawn here from the low of the 11th of December. Now we also have another upside line here drawn right. This one, drawn from the low of the 27th of January, and this one's a bit more of a tentative one. Well, actually, to be honest, all of them are tentative, but this one's a very steep one and very tentative. So, yeah, we can keep an eye on it for now, but just to be, like I said, on the safe side, I might remove it later on. But for now, just for these purposes. For now, I'm going to keep it, and also it kind of coincides with the 21-day EMA, so let's see if it carries any significance, if this upside line will carry any significance later on. But for now, looking at this picture, we can see that today we hit a new all-time high at 50,490. However, the bears kind of pushed the crypto back below that psychological 50 mark, and now the big question here is, will the crypto end up traveling back above that psychological 50 zone. If it will, then maybe, well, we're not really done with those all-time highs. But if it will continue to stay below that psychological 50 zone, then maybe, just maybe, we could get ourselves a bit of a corrective move here to the downside. Of course, keep your eyes on this 45,850 zone here, marked near the lows of the 12th and the 15th of February. And then, of course, keep your eyes on this upside line. But if this upside line gets broken and the price, the rate here, because we're looking at BTC against USD, if the rate starts falling somewhere below the 41,969 zone right here, now that's where it could become very interesting for more sellers, and we could go for even a larger correction to the downside. But again, for that, we still have a long way to go here. The main point for today probably is keep your eyes on that psychological 50,000 mark. If the crypto remains below it, then, well, maybe we could just go for a bit of a small little correction to the downside. AUD NZD. So okay, now this one needs a refresh as well. So basically, as we can see here, it worked out nicely, but I would say the idea was that we might get a little hold up here near this 1.0718, but it kind of overshot it. Instead, this little resistance area now acted as a good support zone. So what's happening here is that basically this arrow should have been actually drawn probably this way here, and in a way I'm still gonna stick to the upside. We did have our little retracement already. Now the big question here is, can we continue with the trend, with the current trend? Because as you can see here, we had a few short-term trends here, and we're now on a third, actually on the second uptrend here from, let's say, from the beginning of December. So yeah, like I said, we're at a very interesting spot. We had our little retracement already. Let's see if the pair can continue trading above this short-term upside line, tentative of course, but nevertheless an upside line. If it can, then yes, higher levels could be met, but I'm not going to drag this one way too much to the upside, and it'll probably let me just adjust this arrow slightly, because in order to kind of to be a little bit more realistic here. So for the upside, what I'm looking at here is I would like to see a pop above yesterday's high here, which is around the 1.0776 zone. This way, the pair will confirm a forthcoming higher high and could travel towards the highest point of January near the 1.0843, and then of course we would take it from there. But if the upside line gets broken and the rate starts falling below this hurdle right here, this 1.0718, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers, and we could go for slightly lower areas here, guys. USD CAD. Now, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but it's quite interesting, I would say, because, well, I mean, we've managed to reach, my target kind of got reached, so that's perfect. Good achievement here. This downside line, I'm still keeping an eye on it. And but like I said, the most important is that the target was reached. My target was this 1.2630 zone, which, as you can see, continues to provide spectacular support, guys. I mean, although we keep getting these little overshoots here, but still the hurdle is doing its job. So what I'm going to do right now is we're seeing of course we're seeing a bit of a corrective move here to the upside, but if it fails to move, let's say somewhere either below the 21-day EMA, or it fails to move above the 21-day EMA, or fails to move above this downside line, then yep, another slide could be possible, where my next target is this 1.25 and, well, let's round it up here a little bit, 90 zone. So I do understand that it's not really kind of let's say too far from where it hit today, but yeah, let's keep it short and simple for now. Like I said, that's my little kind of game plan in the very, very near term. For the upside, now previously I talked about this 1.2881 zone. Now I'm going to stick to Now I'm going to stick to this little hurdle right here, marked by the inside swing low here of the 3rd of February and marked near the high of the 12th of February, and that level is around the 1.2764 territory. And yeah, if we get a nice pop above this, this will confirm I wouldn't say actually will confirm a forthcoming higher high, but it might change the direction of the current trend, and yep, more buyers could join in. GBPUSD, quick update on this pair. So this morning it popped higher. This morning I also talked about this pair, and basically it moved further north. It almost managed to reach this 1.3966 territory, but as you can see, it's now reversing back to the downside. Again, there is a bit of weakness. We can see that, but let's see if we actually form a possible doji here, or shooting star, I would say. So if we form something like that today, then maybe this could kind of signal a reversal, and we could go for maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside here towards this 21-day EMA at least. Because as we can see, overall we're still trading above this upside line drawn from the low of the 23rd of September. Yeah, it's we still have a decent amount here for a possible correction. I mean, a decent amount of area for a possible correction, but we need that confirmation signal first. So let's see if this candle today, this daily candle, is gonna act as that, as exactly that. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. And then if it does, then we could go maybe, like I said initially, for the 1.3782 territory, or this 21-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there. Euro against the USD. So yes, I mean, Euro USD managed to pop above the 1.2156 territory briefly, but as you can see, it kind of failed to stay above it, and instead it started reversing sharply to the downside, guys. So this of course creates this little kind of confusion here among the bulls and the bears. I mean, it seems that it's a no one's game for now, although maybe the bears are slightly in control here. However, the pair remains above the 21-day EMA and above this 1.2109 territory. I spoke about this previously. So what you could do here is keep your eyes on the daily candle. If the daily candle today stays below the 1.2109, then yep, lower levels could be met. But if it struggles to drop below it and stay below it, then well, we're back to nowhere basically, and we're still kind of going to be sitting here and watching the price action. For me to consider and get a little bit more excited with the upside, I need that push above that 1.2156 territory, and I need that daily candle staying above that area in order to get, like I said, comfortable with higher levels. So for now, guys, that's it. That's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, as always, 7 o'clock GMT time. So for now, guys, have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye.